Hello, I am so sorry. I just realized I have not read Pinocchio in such a long time. You know, we have been working on Pinocchio since, did we start it in February? We have been working on it for a really long time. But we're almost done because today we are on chapter 15. And if I look in my table of contents, I can see that there are 18 chapters. So 15, 16, 17, 18. I only have 4 chapters to go. So let's start on chapter 15. So remember, he was about to be a real boy, and then something happened, right? And the name of this chapter is Pinocchio Gets Sold to the Circus. Oof. Who is it? The boys turned donkeys brayed politely. It is the driver of the wagon that brought you here. Open this door or I'll kick it in. Oh, I'm starting to remember. They turned into donkey boys. Ah! Look at those donkey boys. He seemed to understand their strange new language. And without even giving them a chance to open the door, kick it in he did. Hello, boys, the round man said, still smiling. He didn't seem surprised at all. Or should I say, donkeys? Putting bridles on them both. Those bridles are those things those horses have to wear. He started to pull them out the door. Where are we going? Lampwick tried to say, or bray. The driver was taking the boys to market, and not to buy them some lovely snacks either. No, he told them, he was taking them there to sell them. It turned out that the driver of the wagon had another profession, that of a donkey dealer. A donkey dealer? He went around the world looking for lazy boys, those who ran away from home and from school and were therefore destined to become donkeys. He made quite a good living doing this. There were, it seemed, many such boys around. At the market, Lampwick was bought by a farmer, and Pinocchio went to the owner of a circus, known to be a mean and greedy man. The next morning, Pinocchio's new job began. The circus owner was determined to teach his new donkey how to jump and bow, dance and waltz, and a polka, and even stand on his head. Oh, how the crowds would laugh! How rich the circus owner would be. Pinocchio worked hard and finally mastered all the tricks. The circus would open at last. The circus owner went around town and posted signs announcing the first public appearance of the famous dancing donkey called Pinocchio. As you might imagine, that night the stands were filled to overflowing. Everyone wanted to see the dancing donkey. Standing in the center of the ring, the circus owner cleared his throat and lifted up his microphone. Ladies and gentlemen, he said, boys and girls, you are in a wonderful night. Oh, you are in for a wonderful night, for soon you shall meet the world-famous donkey of the dance. The audience clapped politely. I found this donkey in the wilds of Africa, the circus owner continued, and what a savage, violent beast he was. It took all of my will to tame him, but tame him I did. And now I present to you Pinocchio. This was Pinocchio's cue to enter the ring. Upon spotting him, the audience erupted in applause. Oh, what a dolled-up donkey he was. The circus owner had dressed him up with a new bridle of shining leather and polished brass buckles. Pretty flowers and ribbons decorated his braided mane and tail, and a great sash of gold and silver was fastened around his waist. The circus owner gave Pinocchio the signal, and Pinocchio began to perform. He knew the drills. First, he had to walk around the ring. Then, at the sound of the owner's whistle, he was to change to a trot. The trot was to be followed by a gallop, and then finally a full-speed run. All of a sudden, the owner raised his arm and shot a pistol in the air. Pew! The audience gasped. Some people even screamed, ah! Especially when they saw that the famous dancing donkey had fallen down as if dead. They needn't have worried, though. Playing dead was just another one of the famous donkey's tricks. At the owner's signal, the donkey leaped back to his feet and took a bow. When he raised his head, Pinocchio saw a beautiful woman in the stands. Around her neck, she wore a medallion with a picture of a puppet painted on it. Who do you think that might be? The picture was of him, Pinocchio realized, and the woman was Fairy. Fairy! He tried to cry out. But because he was a donkey, the word came out as a horrible, honking bray. The audience laughed, and Pinocchio looked down in shame. When he lifted his head again, Fairy was gone. The circus owner cracked his whip, and Pinocchio knew it was time to jump through some hoops. Although he had practiced several times, he was so sad about Fairy that he didn't feel like jumping. Instead, each time he came near the hoop, he decided to go under it instead. Uh-oh, that doesn't sound like a good idea. The circus owner screamed at him. Pinocchio tried to jump through the next hoop, but he was so distracted that he tripped and fell. He hurt his leg and limped to the side of the ring. The show, it seemed, was over. The doctor was called to examine Pinocchio, and he declared that the donkey would be lame for the rest of his life. "What would I want with a lame donkey?" the owner asked angrily. The next day, the owner came to Pinocchio's stall, put a bridle around his neck, and roughly pulled him out. "I am taking this useless beast to the market to sell it," the owner muttered to himself, and pulled the donkey forward. "Not if I have anything..." Oop, nope, wrong voice, hold on. "Not if I have anything to say about it," Pinocchio brayed stubbornly. After all, what if his next owner turned out to be even meaner than the circus owner? Pinocchio quickly pulled away from the circus owner and, even though his leg was hurt, ran like lightning. What does that mean, to run like lightning? Whoosh, really fast, right? Oh, I'm so excited to find out what happens next. It's going to have to be next time because that's the end of the chapter. The next chapter, chapter 16, is called Pinocchio Meets the Shark. And I will see you next time for that chapter. I hope you enjoyed chapter 15, and I hope you have a wonderful weekend. Bye, sweeties.